Forecast discussion. Jacksonville, Florida. A high-pressure ridge will dominate the weather over northeast Florida and southeast Georgia through Saturday, keeping skies mostly clear and flying conditions generally favorable. Expect visual flight rules to prevail, with only a slight chance for brief fog development around sunrise near inland airfields like Cecil Field, though even that remains marginal. Coastal airports will see steady southeast winds gusting up to 25 miles per hour during the day, tapering off overnight before picking back up by mid-morning Saturday. Temperatures will stay warm, reaching well into the 80s inland and around 80 near the coast. While there's some isolated shower activity offshore, it's unlikely to reach inland areas with anything measurable. Expect just a few scattered cumulus clouds between 3,500 and 4,000 feet during the afternoon hours. Overall, pilots can plan for excellent flying weather, with only minor considerations for early morning fog and gusty coastal winds. Forecast discussion. Miami, Florida. South Florida will stay locked under the influence of a strong high-pressure system through the weekend, keeping conditions very favorable for aviation. Expect clear skies, warm temperatures, and dry air dominating the area with no rain in sight. Visual flight rules will prevail across the region. Winds will be out of the east and notably breezy, especially along the Atlantic coast where gusts could reach up to 30 miles per hour, something to keep in mind for crosswind considerations at coastal airfields. Inland and Gulf Coast locations will be slightly warmer, with temperatures pushing into the upper 80s and even low 90s in a few spots. With such a dry atmosphere in place, there's minimal concern for fog or low clouds. Pilots can anticipate stable flying conditions, though the gusty easterly winds could pose minor challenges during takeoff and landing, especially for a lighter aircraft. Forecast discussion. Melbourne, Florida. Central and east central Florida will continue to experience dry and breezy conditions through tonight, with aviation impacts remaining minimal overall. Expect mainly visual flight rules, although there's a slight chance for brief periods of marginal ceilings at coastal terminals early Saturday morning, especially with a bit of lingering moisture in the lower levels. Winds out of the east-southeast will remain gusty this afternoon, between 18 and 25 knots, especially behind the inland moving sea breeze. These winds will taper off overnight, becoming light and variable at inland airports and around 10 knots along the coast. Despite some moisture streaming onshore, any light showers over the Atlantic are unlikely to survive the dry, subsiding air near the coast, so precipitation is not expected to impact flight operations. Pilots should be prepared for a healthy daytime cumulus field and keep an eye on possible brief coastal ceilings early Saturday. But overall, flying conditions remain favorable under the influence of strong high pressure. Forecast discussion. Tampa Bay, Florida. For aviation across this region, conditions remain ideal with visual flight rules expected to hold steady through the forecast period. High pressure both at the surface and aloft is dominating the pattern, bringing continued dry weather and clear skies. While there are no immediate concerns for visibility or ceilings, pilots should be aware that surface temperatures will be climbing well into the upper 80s and low 90s, possibly breaking records at times. These warmer temperatures could result in some mild thermal turbulence during afternoon hours, especially at lower altitudes, but overall flight conditions will remain stable and predictable. No precipitation or fog is expected, making this a stretch of consistently favorable flying weather.